Hey everyone, it is not Friday, and I really suck. The only excuse I have is that it was an incredibly busy drag weekend in St. Louis, and my boys were in what seemed like 100 shows, and of course I had to go to all of them. So I'm sorry, and I just had the realization today in the shower, hence my hair, that it's a few days past my date. So forgive me. This week's topic you all already have heard 1,000 times, but it's what does marriage mean to you? Do we plan to get married in the future? And do we plan to have kids? And basically, how would we raise them? Marriage is not something that I think about on a daily basis. It's kind of something like I'm very active in, or actively for gay rights, gay marriage, straight rights, and straight marriage. But marriage, the idea in itself doesn't phase me every day, so it's hard for me to be like, do I want to get married or not? If it comes down to a time where marriage is only what makes sense as to what happens next, or if it comes out of necessity, um, with those having circumstances as well, then yeah, then I'll be able to make the decision then. But at this exact moment, I don't really care, and that may seem a little far fetched, but it's not really something that I think about for it to mean to me. It is not as sacred as it probably should be to me, only because I am a child of divorce, so it's hard for me to believe in the sanctity of marriage, not necessarily between a man and a woman, but between a person and a person. Um, that being said, I may or may not plan to get married in the future. I would like to think that someone would like to spend the rest of their life with me, but I'm not gonna ride on that notion if we happen to get married. What about children? I want to have children incredibly bad. Not because I just want a part of me to move on, but because I want to watch something blossom. And I love babies. If you know me at all, you know I love babies. Babies love me. I like old people. Or I like people in general, so just like I would love to have babies. Um, I do have a slight problem though. I have PCOS, which is kind of a bit of TMI, but it is a ovarian syndrome. Um, More than half of my eggs have been affected by the ovaries, so I am about a little bit more than 75% sterile. That being said, I still can have children, um, but it's incredibly difficult. But of course, I'm going to try. I'm going to try all of my options, and hopefully, I'll have a child. And if he comes out or she comes out with 3 heads, more power to you, and I'm going to love you all the same. Um, if I were ready to have, or if I were to have children, how would I ready them for the world we live in today? I would leave that up to the child. Um, I don't. If you want to shelter your child, that's up to you. But also, if you want to throw them into the world of events, that's also up to you. And I'm gonna let my child explore what they want to explore, and if they have questions, of course I will give them answers, or answers to the best of my ability. But I'm not gonna just expect my child to be ready before they are. So I just don't want my child to feel like I have a bunch of harsh realizations and expectations of them. Definitely will try to submerge them into some sort of culture so that they can grow from it, but otherwise, that is their own decision, the way that they want to do things based on that kind of thought process. Uh, of course, I will help guide them, but maybe my guide isn't necessarily the best way, so that's also kind of hard. I am a firm believer of like not necessarily harsh punishment. I don't understand the act of beating the shit out of your child. That doesn't really make any sense. So criticism and punishment other ways, of course, so that'll work out. I wouldn't tell them anything that they don't want to know unless it's vital. I don't want to sway their opinion or their judgment on anything based on my own beliefs, because we are all individuals. So making a mini-me, essentially, is not at all what I want to be done. And I'd like to think that most others think the same way. Otherwise, we're just raising the same generation into infinity. And it's not going to get anything anywhere in the world that we're trying to accomplish, and it's not going to help the individual grow. That's all the time I have for today. I don't think I'll be late next week. Fingers crossed. But you all have a great week now. I will make a video when I get off on Friday. Fingers crossed. Anyway, you all have a great one. Take care. I'll see you soon.